It's like they're playing a different game than everyone else in the LCS. And Cloud9 was trying valiantly to hold them back, killing them again and again as they ran in. But team fight after team fight, even though Cloud9 had generally better team fighting champions,
sure,
Immortals was still taking it and still coming out on top.
Well, they had the gold lead from the better macro play, whether it was winning some of their lanes or just getting the turrets down. Immortals, just with their relentless aggression and constantly very smart rotations, were able to knock these turrets down despite close team fights and get farther and farther and farther ahead. Talk about the Jhin a little bit. Sneaky did as much damage as Pobelter or Huni. They're all within 100 of each other, so the Jhin was effective despite getting killed before 2 minutes in.
Yeah, really curious to see more Jhin in the future, especially if he ends up getting some buffs for the next patch, because Sneaky's the only one to be playing him on this current patch. And it looked like he had the potential to be very lane dominant.
Yeah.
Giving up first blood, losing summoners, getting ganked, being down 0-2, and then still making aggressive plays.
Yeah.
So Sneaky displaying a lot of mastery and aggression on that champion. Hai also some very good shot calls in the mid game, down 5,000 or 6,000 gold and almost pulling it back. Cloud9 definitely had a chance to take down Immortals here if a few of those team fights go differently.
Absolutely true, but even a pretty tightly played game by C9 was not enough to stand up to Immortals, who still won in under 30 minutes. Yeah. Again, their 10th win in a row. I mean, these guys...
What is their average game time now? It's got to be like 25 minutes.
It's got to be under 30. I mean, these guys are relentless and crazy in all the good ways. Wild Turtle 13, 1, and 8. I mean, he got first blood early on, that helps, of course, but just constantly into the battles. Alistair pulverizes down. I'll hop into 3 of you. No one can touch me. It's fine. No big deal. I'll bait with the shields.
Sterix Gage, Mama Mortius, a Nidalee in the backside that's always willing to heal him up.
Engaged a 4v5 as Callista. Not with the ulti. With himself as Callista.
10,000 gold lead. You know, those are the plays that other teams are just like, you know what, let's pull back. We had a loss.
Yeah.
They just keep going.
And Immortals think they knew what was going to be the right call, and it ended up working for them. So props to Immortals. And now for some additional analysis on that game, let's set it down to Zyrina, the Telestrator, to break down one of those team fights.
Thank you, Freak. I'm forever alone here at the Telestrator. I gave the Lover Boys some time. They'll have a room later on. But I want to bring up a replay here. This is one of the team fights Jat was talking about where if C9, if it had just been executed a little bit better, they could have actually had a little bit of a better lead. It would have been a little bit closer. So as we take a look at this one, 21 minutes in, it ends up being a 4-for-3. And what you need to note at the start of this is Malphite ultimate is down. It was used to kill Reignover only. Hai, he's going to run himself a little bit out of mana here as the play continues, and then he doesn't have enough for a headbutt pulverize combo in the middle of it. So let's start this clip off and keep those 2 things in mind. Balls, no ultimate. Hai, he's retreating. Boom, there goes all of his mana. He no longer has enough to actually use a headbutt pulverize combo, and now they focus on him. Jensen, they jump onto him. He goes down. Hai has all these stacks in him, and he gets picked up off on the side. C9 is buying time for Rush, though, and Sneaky with a nice juke there after the 4th shot for the bonus movement speed. And then, boom, because Vault was used, nobody can stop Sneaky inside of his ultimate, and he's able to throw out these shots, pick up Huni, and then this crucial moment that comes up right here. Sneaky, he still has flash available to him, but his options are, do I attempt this flash? Is that enough distance to actually get over that wall and to position yourself here to be a threat to Pobelter and Wild Turtle and clean up this fight? If he flashes this way, then he has to come back in onto Pobelter, and it ends up being a much harder route to actually execute on. So Sneaky had this option available to him, but instead he eats the laser, and as we continue to roll this clip out, you're going to see he doesn't have enough HP. He doesn't want to get close enough to Wild Turtle, and now these stacks are coming down. The double binding onto them kept them in place for Wild Turtle to get enough HP back, and that is how Wild Turtle ends up picking up that 4-for-3, or 5-for-3 at the end of the day. So that's one of those fights where there could have been another kill picked up there, and that could have been Sneaky pushing up a little further. That could have been Sneaky retreating from Reignover afterwards. But you know, at the end of the day, it is that 10-0 for Immortals. Now, let's hand it off to Dash, who's got an interview ready with Immortals Kill Leaders.
Thank you very much, Zyrene. That's right, I'm here with Reignover and Wild Turtle of the victorious Immortals, and I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to see that clip as you were getting mic'd up there, but I think that fight was a pretty perfect illustration of how, one, how bloody the game was, and two, how close it felt the entire time, even though I'm sure when you guys go back and watch it, you'll actually take note of the gold lead that you guys were able to secure yourself even through all these kill trades. Did it feel that close? I'm coming to you first, Wild Turtle, because the whole game just felt like every fight could have swung one way or the other.
I think our team fights were pretty close, but I think we were in control for most of that game. I felt like every time we team fight, we were going to win. But somehow the team fights got super close. I think C9 team fought really well.
Yeah, well, part of that was how big the Kalista got, and a big factor in that was, of course, the first blood that you guys secured before minions even show up to lane. But I actually want to come to you, Rainover, with the first blood question, because by him securing the first blood over there, that means that that's the first game this split that you don't get to be a part of first blood for your team. How does that feel, taking that statistic away from you?
Well, like I'm not really playing like the game for first play, you know. Like if I just have a like opportunity, then I just go for it, and then like usually it ends up getting first blood. But like everyone was laughing and everyone was like super happy about like Turtle getting first blood because it's like really good start, you know. So like I didn't feel any bad. I just feel super happy.
Absolutely. That didn't hinder your ability to have a good start either. I think very early on in the game we saw 4 kills on both of you, so a lot of gold coming into your pockets. As this game developed, though. Fight after fight after fight, we saw 10 kills at 9 minutes, 15 kills at 12 minutes, 36 kills at 20 minutes. You know, it was just, how do you as a team approach a game like that seems to be operating at such a high speed that you almost can't think that quickly? How do you guys as a team figure out what your priorities are going to be when it just seems that every other second there's a fight starting?
I think like if you see their picks and our picks, like we really want to siege and to push out turrets when you have advantage, and then C9 is really good at engaging fights. So basically we had some advantage on early game, and then we wanted to push towers, but I think me and Huni were like bit positioning too aggressive because it's not like we disrespect, but we just feel like if you play aggressive, then they have to like stay back, but they actually didn't stay back and then try to punish us, and then that ends up like we like having some kind of bad team fight because we usually have to peel back as much as we can. But I think it's just because we wanted to siege and then they wanted to engage, and then it's actually when you have like siege comp against engage comp, like engage comp should win team fight if siege comp doesn't really play well. But I think like early game we didn't play really well on the team fight. But mid-game, we had Fed Kalistar, so we kind of was focused on peeling.
It was kind of the clash of the two styles, right? And so that's kind of how they met head-to-head. Speaking of the Kalista, who ended up with like 13 kills in that game, you had the Maw, the Sterix. I mean, it just built into such a tanky ADC frontliner, basically, for the team. I actually want to get your opinion, though, on Jhin, because we got to see it come out this game. I know Sneaky's a big fan of it. It did, to some degree, impress with what it did. Of course, you guys got the first blood and a couple early kills, but what is your opinion of Jhin as an ADC and where he kind of falls into the tier?
I think Jhin is pretty strong in terms of like poking and like cleaning up fights, but I think like his laning is very weak because he's always prone to getting all in. And if you get all in as a Jhin, he can't really fight that well because his attack speed is like really low.
Exactly. His mobility is essentially running out of ammo. He's like, now I can move. So it's a little give and take there. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll get to see that opportunity again. That being said, you guys did leave it up. And so I want to return now to picks and bans because we finally saw a team target Adrian take out that Soraka Janna that he had played for the entirety of the split. So again, back to you in the bot lane. Did it I kind of just want to get the team's opinion of the way that Cloud9 approached playing you, because it was different from what any other team has tried against Immortals yet so far, strategy-wise.
I think banning out Adrian is cool, I guess, but like you can't really do anything even if you ban out Adrian because Adrian has a pretty big champion pool. But he's played a lot of like Soraka and Gen X, so I see why teams want to ban that. But I think Adrian can just play any champion. And especially with the Kalista too, so it doesn't really matter. Right,
it kind of feeds into what we were talking about in our pregame is how do you even approach going up against Immortals? Who do you ban out? We talked about, well, maybe you ban out the Adrian, maybe you attack Rainover because you do make so many plays around the map. Being 10-0, I have to, and having had experience on an 18-0 team, I want to ask you, what is your method of keeping the team on track and focused at improving and becoming better so that you don't, rest on your laurels and get a sneak game taken away from you?
I think even this split, like there was a lot of games that we were behind early game. Like even there was like 6K, I think 5K gold lead that enemy had. But I think we just have like the mindset. Me and Huni especially had like mindset that like even though the game is behind, we just assume that they're gonna make mistake, and then we just wait until they make mistake, you know. And then when we're ahead, like we just try to just ensure that we're winning, and then just try to not make mistakes. So I think if you just focus on like being positive around the game, then I think it's like pretty. You can like make less mistake, I guess. Yeah.
Well, it hasn't shown. There's been no moments of hesitation when you guys are behind. I think Freak and Jat mentioned in the cast that you guys looked very aggressive even on the losing end of some of these fights, and that's where those gold leads were coming out of this game, is the constant pressure and map movements that you guys have. Finally, Turtle, I want to come back to you. Close us out here with, you know, a lot of people are looking at Cloud9 as the team that could beat you today with High back in the lineup. You squashed that notion. If there was anybody left, you know, on the docket to do it, I think most people would point towards TSM and CLG. Your opinion after TSM's performance today against CLG, if they are able to reach kind of their full potential, do you think they can give you a run for their money?
Yeah, I guess TSM.
It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, we're going to squash them.
I guess TSM can potentially take a game off us. It would just be a game I'm looking forward to, I guess.
All right. Good. Nice political answer, Wild Turtle. I was looking for you to be like, absolutely not. We will crush them. Exactly. See, that's the face I want to see. Anyway, we're spreading the love. Oh, congratulations on the victory, the 10-0, and thank you for the interview. I'm being rude on Valentine's Day of all days. We're spreading the love here around the LCS studio with more tweets for your pro Valentines. This one comes from Spyron, maybe, who's chosen High because I want to understand the magic. I think that we all do. I mean, do you guys have any idea as to what it is that makes High such an effective shot caller?
I don't know. He just he talks a lot, I guess. He's an outgoing person.
I actually want to play a game with High, you know?
You want to play with him?
Yeah.
You've never
I
even...
I want to see what is he doing, you know? Because like if there's like voice check, is it a voice check?
I actually played with High before. He actually does talk a lot.
Yeah, like High's...
like my check at the end of the game? Yeah.
When I saw it, like High always like have a good shot call or like good... Like if he actually ensured like opportunities, you know, even this game, like he just like if you have to go, he go for it. He doesn't hesitate, you know. I think like players being like aggressive and then not being hesitate is actually a really good point, you know. So,
yeah, I think it would be a real
maybe
treat.
this kind of thing, like engage when no one can engage, this kind of thing. I think maybe it's making him like important player.
Absolutely. I think everybody would appreciate being able to play a game with High, at least for a moment, see what it is like to be led by him. Anyway, that's going to do it for us on this game. We've got Liquid versus Renegades right after the break, so stay with us.
Oh, Jin, guys! Oh, shit, dude. I'm a fucking Jin main.
You're a fucking Jin master.
You're actually Donzo.
Balls flash
Nice
Q.
flash Q.
If it's backs Q, he kills him. He's got him. He's down. Balls solo kills Hootie. The push comes through for Sneaky. Here comes the curtain call. 1 onto Wild Turtle. 2 on towards him. Now towards Rainover. And he gets him from downtown.
Honey. Locks, above you. Locks.
Oh, shit.
Can you get locks? Flash. Nice. Go. Pull out there. No flash. Careful. Kite back. Nice.
Cloud9 back inside their base. A stun on Pole Belter. Some damage dealt, but not even Jin can kill Immortals. Cloud9 could not stand up to the juggernaut that is Immortals.